Hello everybody, Abed's brother here, and this is just going to be a quick video of the Black Myth Wukong benchmark on my Intel Arc A770. Two things. First, I am running a 5762 driver. I haven't seen the 62 is working well for me, so even though 5768 is out, I haven't bothered upgrading. But neither of these drivers, 5762 or 5768, have optimizations for Black Myth Wukong. So this is basically an old unoptimized driver. So Intel may release an optimized driver which will improve results in the future. Secondly, I am running an overclock on my Arc right now. And here's what I've got going on here. GPU performance boost is at 60 with a plus 25 millivolt voltage increase and max power limit, max temperature limit. So as a result of the overclock, my A770 boosts to about 2634 megahertz. Stock, it's at 2400 megahertz. I've seen people have to boost voltage a lot more to get numbers like that, so I don't know. I guess I won the Silicon Lottery or something. I don't know. Now, Black Myth Wukong runs using Unreal Engine 5, so it won't be any surprise when you find that this benchmark, anyway, performs very similarly to RoboCop Rogue City, which was also Unreal Engine 5. Which is to say, so here are my settings on image, here are my graphics settings. You're going to either use XeSS or FSR with FrameGen, but FSR looks really bad in this particular game. FSR looks okay in a game like RoboCop because, you know, you're in a city, you've got a lot of straight edges and not a lot of foliage. So yeah, anti-aliasing medium. Textures are cinematic, but it doesn't seem to use more than 6 gigs of video memory, which is kind of interesting. Everything else is low. Global illumination and reflections are medium. Yeah, FSR works okay in RoboCop because it's got a lot of straight edges, not a lot of foliage. Black Myth Wukong is mostly going, at least in this benchmark, is foliage and forest. So it kind of exposes FSR's weaknesses. So it looks like I'm losing about 4 or 5 frames per second while recording here, because normally I should be in mid-50s here. And again, this is not on any kind of optimized driver. This is just the 5762 driver. So I'm sure Intel is going to release some optimizations for this game. I don't expect it'll produce, you know, a magical frame rate uplift. I do expect it to improve. So yeah, this is with XeSS at 75%. They don't have the ultra quality, balanced, and performance presets. They just let you choose a percentage of the upscale. So I'm going to run it once here with XeSS. And like I said, this is about, I'm recording this with OBS, and I'm getting about, and you can see on my overlay there, GPU media engine usage is about 28 to 30%. So I'm getting a 4 to 5 FPS hit here on my recording. It's not bad. Visually I could play this, and when not recording I could definitely play this too. But even the devs said online that this is just a fly-through to test performance. This is a Souls-like game, I understand. I haven't even watched trailers for it. But I understand it's a Souls-like, which means you're going to need to have good timing, and there could potentially be a lot of explosions on screen, visual effects, and that means in a big combat I would expect frame rate to drop to the upper 30s. That's just the way it is. I don't see any way around that. If I could drop XeSS to 66%, But I found the visual, like on the leaves right here, I have found dropping it that much lower just makes things start to look blurry, and you start getting echoes, and it just doesn't look good. So yeah, recording average is 48. Not recording average is about 52 using these settings, and super resolution's at 75. Yeah, so let's in RoboCop Rogue City, the game had the best experience playing the game using FSR frame gen. So I'm going to do that. And again, I'm not going to make a super long video out of this, but I'm going to run it again. I'm going to use FSR, same 75%, and we're going to turn frame gen on. Which I don't think it does much in the menus. But let's see what it does in the benchmark. Frame time graph looks a bit better. I don't know, I can still see some micro stutter in the screen, especially when the camera pans. So like RoboCop Rogue City, which was another Unreal 5 game, it looks like FSR frame gen is going to be the way to experience this game. So again, the way frame gen works is it interpolates additional, at least the Radeon one, it interpolates additional frames to bring up your frame rate. So your response time is still going to be the same as your base on modified frame rate, which is going to be about, you know, upper 40s, low 50s. At least in this benchmark. But you can really see some stuff. So look at the fire, you can see trails on the fire, and look at this guy's hair. You'll notice it doesn't look quite as good, and the water here, to me, looks a little bit off, like it looks fuzzy. So FSR definitely not as good as XeSS here. And I did try TSR, I think that's TAA upscaling. And that also has frame gen, but that was way worse than FSR with frame gen. So FSR with frame gen, if you want to get hit that 60 FPS with this particular setup, this seems to be about the way it should go. Now I've seen other people on the ARC Reddit get a lot worse results than me at lower resolutions. So I suspect Black Myth Wukong needs a decent CPU. This is a Ryzen 9 5950X. So it's AM4, it's Ryzen 3, it's pretty old CPU at this point. But it does have it has 16 cores, hyper-threaded, so it's 32 threads, and it's not a bad load for it at all, as you can see. But if you're trying to run this on a 10th Gen i3, you're probably going to be pushing that CPU pretty hard. So FSR frame gen, we are at 69 FPS average. This is probably, if you're going to play at 3440x1440 on an A770, this is probably the way to do it. So low, lots of low quality here. Anti-aliasing is medium, but textures cinematic. I'll go into the settings and show you the settings one more time. But I'm hearing a lot of buzz about Black Myth Wukong, but I just finished Steel Rising, so I'm not really in the mood for another Souls-like at this time. But I am putting this into my wish list for sure. So yes, ray tracing is off. Unfortunately, I'm not even considering turning ray tracing on with a GPU. Basically, the A770 is punching way above its weight right now. Anti-aliasing medium, yeah. Global illumination and reflection. I like my reflections, so whatever. And that's it. This benchmark is free on Steam. So if you are... Let's go to the store page. If you are curious about how this runs on your own PC, you can go to Steam. It's just a free download, and it's about a 7 GB download. So yeah, hope this video was useful to you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up, and post below what kind of results you're getting in this benchmark. Thanks for watching.